This is Hidden Killers Week in Review.
A look back at the most prolific stories of the week.
This is the Hidden Killers podcast with Tony Brueski.
Featuring former FBI Special Agent and Chief of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program, Robin Dreeke.
The Suitcase murderer, Sarah Boone. We've been talking about her for quite some time now. Of course, her boyfriend, George Torres Jr., he passed away because she zipped him in a suitcase while they were playing, quote, hide and seek. She got drunk, went to bed, said, oh, I didn't mean to do this at all, walking away and taunting him and passing out. She's about to go to trial, and her letter, her plea for an attorney after 8, she found some success in it. She has a new attorney that is going to be representing her in court, which is going to be interesting. Joining me to discuss, Robin Dreeke, retired FBI Special Agent, Chief of the Counterintelligence Behavioral Analysis Program. What's your reaction to the new attorney who, basically saw the ad for Star Search and said, sign me up, Ed?
Well, her ad worked. She knew that whatever she writes in jail is public knowledge. And so she got free advertising. And this guy took the bait for, free advertising marketing for him. From what I understand, he's going to try for the battered spouse, battered partner syndrome as a defense. It's a stretch because stupid is as stupid does. And when you videotape you being drunk and killing your boyfriend in a suitcase, and then when you throw on top of that her 911 call with zero effect, as we talk in our behavior stuff, and she uses the language herself saying, I put him in the suitcase, not he got in the suitcase, I put him in the suitcase. And then you listen to his calls and pleas to please let out as he dies in front of her, as she's passed out from alcohol. Because once again, Tony, we have the case of if she only drank more, it would have gone even much better.
In this case, I'm wondering, maybe it would have, honestly. Like, what if she had drinking more? Would she have gotten to an emotional state of like, oh, I remember the good times. Let me unzip you. Or the only possible case where I would say maybe, because it clearly didn't end well the way she was.
You barely make a good point there, because when she was on the video recording herself, she was slurring a lot of her words. She was very inebriated. And if she had gotten so drunk that she had an inability to zip that suitcase closed, this never might have happened.
It may be the only case ever where had she drinking more, this would have turned out better. That's of any
At least
case.
To be alive.
But it's so just bizarre. I mean, she plays the role of I was passed out. I didn't realize this happened. And I don't know. I mean, maybe she didn't, at the end of the day, if she was sober, I don't think she probably would have done this, but she did do it. And that's the reality.
So it's interesting, when you look at, and I encourage everyone listening to go do this on your own. If you go on to Google, as I do a lot of these cases, when we've got little nuances here, just look up OCPD, obsessive compulsive personality disorder, and the results you get there. So here's some symptoms of people that have this. Being stubborn, having difficulty working with others, being fixated on a single idea, having difficulty coping with criticism, being unaware of their own emotions, valuing accomplishment over fun. So that's just kind of a list. So think about her and her hard time she's having with her attorneys that she kept firing, her stapling her own clothes against the rules, trying to alter the look that she has in the courtroom. She is constantly thinking herself smarter and better than everyone else and getting very stubborn and even non-compliant around it. And then the fact that both of them have had charges that they charge each other with hurting each other. So it was a violent relationship as well from court records. You have, this diagnoses, non-clinical observation of obsessive compulsive personality disorder, which if you keep escalating that, bad things can happen. And they had an arc together of violence. And so you throw the fuel on the fire of alcohol, lower inhibitions, and that kind of personality, and you got a recipe for this nightmare.
Yeah. And the fact that she thought it was a great idea to videotape it as well, which I find just insane. But again, probably at that moment, she wasn't thinking he was going to die. She thought, oh, I'll look back on this and laugh at it later. Yeah, in court, you will.
Yeah, I mean, she was her own worst enemy.
Yeah.
I mean, so you think about it. So if you didn't have that video, you wonder, would this even have made the news? So that you have a couple that just is doing stupid things and they zip each other in a suitcase and they had a night of drinking and he dies accidentally.
Yeah. With the ninth attorney who has now signed on for this, we are roughly 30 days, give or take, from the actual trial starting. Do you think we're going to see the ninth attorney make it the 30 days to court, or is this going to still be Sarah Boone representing herself once we get there?
That's interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a pattern of behavior, don't we?
Yeah, just a little.
If I was in Vegas, I'd be betting he's gone.
I would too. And I would imagine, I think there maybe the strategy there of she's going to try and fire him right before the case, or he withdraws right before the trial itself starts, and hoping that she's going to get some sort of delay. I don't think the judge is going to take it, though. I don't.
But we'll see. It's, looking at her in the courtroom, I've watched a lot of video on her. I mean, she's highly functional. She's very good. She's not legally intelligent, but she seems halfway intelligent, at least, for being able to cognate. Yeah. And so crafty is a good way to put it. And so it'll be interesting to see if she's actually learned. And like, again, even if you have obsessive compulsive personality disorder, she's has the ability to learn. And so if she's learning in an arc of learning and realizing and having aha moments that actually need an attorney, and maybe the reality of what is transpiring, it will hit her. Mm-hmm. Because everything she said, like most of the people we've talked about in the cases that we cover, the entire focus is on her. Mm-hmm. Me. Well, that could actually help her want to keep the lawyer, because if her focus is on her and life in jail, and if she doesn't have an attorney, she's going to spend a lot of time in there. Maybe she'll decide to keep him. I don't know. We'll see.
Do you think she learned from her mistake or from firing the last 8? Because this was the first time between 8 and 9 where the judge was like, no more. It's up to you now. And that was the first time that we saw her in court going, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know, because she was forced to be there. Did that, getting her feet to the fire like that, did that make her learn a little bit?
I have a theory.
Yeah.
So one thing that we've seen with her is, and with people like this, is a massive need for control. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, so much so that she wanted to control her boyfriend by putting him in a suitcase. Is that not an ultimate form of control?
Yeah.
So think about this. So here's my thought experiment on this one. She was assigned her attorneys, 8 of them. She took control, put out an ad, and she has him. There might be a chance she keeps him because she feels she's in control.
I think you got a point there.
You like that one?
I do like that one.
All right, true crime addicts, let's cut the crap. You're knee-deep in the gory details of your favorite podcast when suddenly a commercial hits like a bad meal. Seriously? You deserve better. Upgrade to True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts, where you can binge without those annoying ads. Plus, get extended interviews that go deeper into the darkness and early access to episodes so you can be the first to know. It's like trading up from fast food to fine dining, but with more blood. So, go ahead. Search for True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and feast on the good stuff.